Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi are not actual direwolves, and I'm going to tell you why. So if you've been on the internet, such as YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook, you might have heard of, the 3 direwolf puppies that were born and genetically modified. Scientists are calling these pure direwolves. Well, not pure direwolves, but direwolves nonetheless. Now, these 3 puppies, 2 of them, Romulus and Remus, are 5 months old, and one of them, Khaleesi, is just 6 weeks old. They're adorable, I'll admit it, they're really cute. I think they are beautiful puppies, but they're not direwolves, they're not. Now, they have taken direwolf DNA from skulls and teeth and combined them with, believe it or not, gray wolf DNA. Now, what is absolutely mind-boggling is that gray wolves and direwolves are not related at all. Direwolves are not even actual wolves. They are a completely different genus from, wolves entirely. They're a different genus on the canine family spectrum. So what absolutely mind-boggles me is that scientists who are smart and have degrees thought that this would be a good matchup. So these puppies have 20 different genetic mutations. 15 of them are direwolf mutations, and 5 of them are just to make their pelts white. Now, it is said that they have just 20 genetic direwolf mutations because direwolves were said to have white fur from puphood and through adulthood. But it's really just 15 because 5 of those mutations are just gray wolf mutations. Okay, but Amelia, if these are actual gray wolves, then, why aren't they brown from puphood and then getting their coats later on? Well, this is because, gray wolves out there do have this genetic mutation where they are white from birth. However, they don't tend to actually live long. So I think the unfortunate thing is that these puppies will probably die earlier in life. If you really think about it, they're playing around with their genetics and their DNA and adding some direwolf DNA to their blood. Who knows what's going to happen to them health-wise? And they're advertising this as some big advancement, even though really it's not, because, snow is falling on me. Because all they did was genetically modify a gray wolf. They are trying to keep the public excited and hopeful for the future with this big advancement that they made in DNA replication and de-extinction. And another problem I actually have with this is that even if we do end up bringing an entire species back in the next 50 or so years, they're not built for our current climate. Now, Romulus, Remus, and Khaleesi, they are said to possibly be much bigger wolves, and that's because direwolves, they're much larger than current gray wolves. This is because they had to eat much, much larger things, like woolly mammoths, for example. Now, you could argue about the fact that, they are trying to bring back the woolly mammoth and they could just, eat those. But that's not what I'm trying to get at. Even if there is eventually a large population of direwolves and woolly mammoths, the current climate that we have is not suited for both of those species. Both species are much more used to colder climates than we actually currently have here in Alaska. Both species are much bigger and therefore have more body heat and also have much more thicker fur than current animals alive today. Now, right now, most of the world is actually overheating, and therefore it's not a good climate for both of those species. For example, animals over time would either go extinct because of climate change or because of humans in general. And if you think about it, if you're bringing back an entire species, imagine how much they can cost for poachers, illegal poachers, trying to get to these species. The people are not thinking. There are, different possibilities for our current 3 genetically modified gray wolves, but I think the most likely one right now is that they will just die as adults because of their genetic modifications that probably do not suit their bodies.